Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you've been well. Today's video is about the upgrades that I've done to my Land Cruiser 120. It's basically the first step on making the Land Cruiser more off-road and overlanding ready. So this video is going to be about suspension, tires and underbody protection. Before I get started, be sure to check out the Drive Your Dreams Tom Van Pope t-shirt and sticker. This is my first official Tom Van Pope merchandise, proudly featuring the 120 series Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. It's a very comfortable soft style t-shirt that comes in 5 different colors. The sticker is printed on high quality durable vinyl and looks great on a laptop or cargo case. If you're looking to buy this cool and unique design, support the channel, head over to the Tom Van Pope shop and order your t-shirt and sticker on vanpope.com. Yeah, so last year I did a little bit of off-roading and I quickly realized that if I wasn't very careful, I was gonna damage something. I realized if I want to do some off-roading and some serious overlanding, I need to upgrade 3 things. First, tires, second, suspension, and third, underbody protection. Alright, let's start with suspension. You know, there are a lot of products on the market, both built for the Land Cruiser Prado in Australia, or Land Cruiser as it's simply called here in Europe, the 120 series, and of course for the GX 470, the North American Lexus equivalent of this model. There is Icon suspension, Old Man Emu, Kings, Ironman. There are a bunch of other brands. I'm not sponsored by OME or ARB. I just love this hat. I really think the logo is really cool. I've done my research and I looked at the budget that I had available. What I wanted was a complete kit that also includes a lift. So not just purely suspension changes, but a significant lift. And after doing my research, I ended up buying the Old Man Emu BP51s. This is a suspension kit with a remote reservoir, which helps in cooling because the hydraulic fluid has a bigger area, and also you can adjust the rebound and compression, which is really nice. So depending on the load, depending on the type of terrain, I can actually adjust the suspension to fit my needs. In addition to the suspension kit, I also installed some new upper control arms. These upper control arms are also from ARB or OME, and these allow for more adjustments, so they fit the lift better. And if I want to get even bigger tires, because that's topic number 2, these upper control arms also allow for more custom settings. The BP51 takes a bit more time to install than a regular suspension kit. This is mainly because of the external reservoir and the preload settings. The recommended preload without any equipment in the car is 5mm. It's 10mm when you have a bull bar or front bumper mounted without a winch, and 15mm when you have one with a winch. The shock compression and rebound is easy to set yourself. A custom wrench is supplied with the kit that you can use to adjust the settings by hand. But spring preload, that is a bit more time consuming and it will most likely take a couple of hours in a workshop. My mechanic Ronnie, he's amazing. He did the work for me. He set the preload to 12mm because I intend to fit a front bumper with a winch. So until I fitted that, yeah, the truck is a little bit higher. In terms of the load, you can choose 3 different types of rear springs, which is of course dependent on the load that you carry. So rear springs, you can go with normal, you can go with a constant load of 150 to 400 kilograms, or extra constant load. These are the heavy duty ones of more than 400 kilos. For me, with the stuff that I carry, it made most sense to go with the middle option, so 150 to 400 kilos of extra load. And of course, after I got the suspension kit fitted, I also had to do a wheel alignment. The other suspension kits that I considered were OME Nitrocharger, Nitrocharger Sport, Ironman Nitro Gas and Ironman Foam Cell. I almost went with the Ironman Nitro Gas because I got really good recommendations from an experienced overland traveler who basically drove all around Africa on those. He said that it's a very smooth and reliable ride. They drove around Africa about 65,000 kilometers with 3 vehicles that all had the Ironman Nitro Gas equipped, and they performed really well. But I also got recommended the BP51s from some other people who said it's a really nice kit, a bit pricey, but if you can afford it, go for the BP51s. So I could at the time afford it, so I went with the BP51s. Then in terms of tires, that was really a no-brainer. I read so many great reviews about the BF Goodrich KO2s. These are all-terrains, and I got the 265 70 R17s. These are not the biggest tires that I can currently fit. I think I could go 1 or 2 steps up in diameter if I wanted to, but that would really be pushing it to the max. The next step, if I want to fit bigger tires on it, is taking the angle grinder or the heat gun, either doing a body chop or heating up some of the wheel arches on the inside and bending back some of the plastic so that bigger tires won't rub. Right now I haven't experienced any rubbing, so once again these are 265 70 R17s. I think they look great. They really match the lift. One thing to keep in mind when fitting all-terrain tires is that your noise will increase and your fuel economy will get worse. It's a normal thing when you fit these more beefier, chunkier tires. They're not optimized for highway, even though you can perfectly drive them on the highway. The road noise is actually okay, I think. Just a little bit more than my standard tires, but you know, I'm used to driving these studded tires in winter with metal spikes in them. So when it comes to noise, I don't really complain. When I first had the suspension fitted, I still had my old standard size tires on, and it looked kind of funny because you know the car was really tall and it had these relatively small tires on them. I was really happy when I finally got the notification that my KO2s had arrived. I could pick them up, get them fitted. Took a couple of videos when I went to pick up the car after the tires had been fitted. So let's cut to those videos right now. Hello and good morning. I just woke up. Today, finally, I'm gonna get the tires mounted on the Land Cruiser. It's been a while since I've had them. I think they've been now in storage for about 3 weeks, more or less. It took a long time before I could get an appointment at the local tire shop because it's tire changing season here in Sweden. It's very common for people to switch from winter tires to summer tires and back every year, twice a year. But yeah, I have the BF Goodrich KO2s in the back. Today the tires will be fitted. Since I got the new suspension, I'm also gonna have a wheel alignment and balancing. So it's gonna be the whole shebang. Everything will be done at once, and yeah, by this afternoon I will probably have a car that drives quite differently than it does today. Not only will the wheel alignment make a big difference, but the new tires that are bigger will also have a big impact, I think. So I took a before shot, and at the end of the day I'll take an after shot and compare the two, and yeah, very much looking forward to that. All right, here in rainy Sweden, just picked up the car. Woohoo! It's got the new wheels on. I am super excited. Finally, this rig looks very proportionate, and yeah, love the white leathers as well. Just super excited. I have never driven these BFG KO2s, so really curious to feel the tires, see if I can feel any difference, and also curious about the sound, to be honest. So yeah, they just look gorgeous. Super excited about this upgrade. Yeah, here we are. I think next up is underbody protection and front bumper. So let's see how it drives.
I'm driving the Land Cruiser 120 with BFG KO2s. Let's check it out. It's so much taller already. Oh my goodness. This is nice. So stable. Wow. Okay. I can definitely feel the wheel alignment having its effect. It already feels a lot more stable. Maybe that's, I mean, okay, I'm comparing apples and oranges here in the sense that it both got new first cornering. Wow, very nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm combining a review essentially of two changes, right? New tires and proper wheel alignment and balancing, of course, just part of mounting new tires. But it feels so good. Wow. This is... I wasn't expecting this. I'm mall crawling here in the shopping center. I will really feel the difference when I go off-road. But now on tarmac, yeah, this, oh, it feels so much better. Previously, when the wheels weren't aligned, well, properly, they were only aligned with kind of like hand tools after the suspension install. I'm also curious about the speed, by the way. But yeah, the hand alignment, basically, I think it's the toe angle. So you have camber, you have different things you can adjust. Not the biggest expert in this, but now this just feels incredibly solid. It feels really, really planted. Bigger tires also means the speedometer will be impacted by this. So if you're driving 100 on the speedometer, you're actually driving 95 or less. That's what it was like with this one. With these bigger tires, the speedometer is actually accurate, as in it matches the GPS, your actual speed. Meaning that I'll have to pay a bit more attention when it comes to speeding. It feels a little bit more sluggish. Doesn't mean that the car is sluggish. It still feels very powerful. I mean, it has a 4-liter V6. It also feels just way more planted. Wow, it's nice. Previously here on the highway, the car was searching a lot more, you know, like trying to find a kind of path, and I had to do a lot more active steering, a lot more active corrections. But now it's planted.
And then in terms of wheels, these are the original wheels, the original rims that come with the car, and they are gorgeous. They're alloys. I think they look really, really good. I believe in the US these were offered on the Toyota 4Runner, but here in Europe this is how the truck was delivered. And in terms of underbody protection, I went with the ARB kit. Of course, the underside is something you want to protect. They have a great kit that covers the entire underside, or most of the underside of the Land Cruiser. It comes at a really good price. I fitted that one myself. It wasn't too hard. Alright, so now that I've shared my reasoning about these items and options, let's do a quick walk around and see how it looks. In terms of ride quality and differences, I must say it's a real improvement. I took it on some dirt roads, some back roads here around where I live, and I realized that when I reached a certain speed, like above 40-50 kilometers per hour on these kind of poor roads, unpaved, that's when the suspension really comes to life. That's when the car starts to almost float and you realize, wow, this is what this suspension was actually designed and engineered for. And that was a really great feeling. I felt so much control, and I felt like the suspension was really paying off and really supporting the vehicle in those conditions. So cool feeling. I never expected it to feel so good, and yeah, I'm really happy with the suspension so far. One small complaint from my girlfriend: the car was a little bit more wobbly, she said. I think the reason for that is that its preload is set for a higher load, and when I drove with her there was hardly anything in it. That's what makes the car a little bit more wobbly, because the suspension needs to be a bit more compressed in order to function the way it should. And with the extra weight of all the accessories, and when we go out overlanding, you know, we load it up quite heavily. That's when the suspension is tuned perfectly. When we went overlanding, went for a trip, we loaded it up and those complaints were gone immediately. Alright, that's it for this first phase of my build of the Land Cruiser 120. I have a lot more upgrades planned for the truck, so if you're curious to follow the process and see how it becomes more overland and off-road capable, then of course subscribe to the channel and follow my progress. If you have any questions, please post them down in the comments and I'll try to get back to you guys. I read everything. And that's it for this video. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date for future build videos. And for now, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.